got involved in the Green Site program mainly to probably show the golfers and the rest of the public the good things we do for the environment. I guess I was a little bit apprehensive about it at first. Didn't really know what the program was about, how they were going to use some of the information they wanted. So I did a little more research, and I thought it was a good program, which just, instead of, when you see some of these things, you think they're going to use it against you, but it actually promotes promotes our site as being environmentally friendly and taking care of the groundwater and all the things that go into that. And so that was a good way to promote what we do here at the golf course. I heard of the Green Site program. I think was a couple other superintendents maybe told me about it, and then they also had a program at our Nebraska Turfgrass Association conference, and that's probably the two ways I first heard about it. And then as I asked around, I got a little more information from them, and a couple other superintendents had went through the program, and they thought it was a great idea, so that's kind of how it got started. I think golf courses in general tend to be good users of their resources. They tend to be very conservative with water. They only water when they need to. You see a lot of homeowners there turn the sprinklers on May 1st, and they run every night, all night, through the summer, whether it rains or not. I think most golf courses are always looking to conserve water, and if it rains, they're not going to water, and they're going to use the water supply that they have the best they can. Also, I think we out here, and I think a lot of other people, use a lot of slow-release fertilizers in the turf industry, and naturally turf is a great user of nitrogen, so you have very little leaching in that regard. The root system is able to take up the nitrogen that you do supply, and so there's very little loss. And I think that goes along same way with pesticides and nutrients. So I think that's something a lot of people may not understand. They think it's just a big chemical dump out here, but actually what we put on is utilized by the turf, and very little of it goes into the groundwater. So I think just in general, that may not be specific to what we do, but I think it's just generally what golf courses do, everywhere. So. Part of my golf course that I'm most proud of probably is the natural native grass areas. That was a big thing. If you can see behind me, you can see a lot of native grass areas. Big thing when we built this course was to disturb those areas as little as possible. So we just carved in the fairways and greens and made turf where we needed turf, and left the native grass areas alone. I think it gives a good contrast to the turf. Also provides habitat for songbirds and pheasants and insects and all sorts of things are out there, as well as wildflowers. So it's a native prairie, that hasn't been disturbed. So I guess that's probably the thing I'm most proud of about the site. And then also the turf. Obviously, I'm a turf guy, so the turf goes right in there with it. So it's a nice mix of both. Managed and somewhat unmanaged areas that goes together, and it's pleasing to the eye, and the golfers seem to like it. So I guess that's what I'm most proud of. I think the Green Site program is a great program for golf courses, parks, anybody to get involved with. I think for probably the main reason I would say is it's a good way to inventory what you're doing already. The questionnaire goes through a lot of different things that you might do day to day and through the year, looking at both the big picture and some of the smaller things that you may do. I think it's just a good way to assess what you're doing now and also what you could do better in the future. You know, no one's going to be perfect when they go through there, and you know, it kind of opened my eyes to what some things that I thought we did well, and then it also pointed out some places where I thought we could improve, you know, our practices to make us, you know, more environmentally friendly, I guess. So I think that's the main reason is it just is a good way to look at your program and see what you can do better, where you're doing good already. And also, I guess another thing it does is as I started off, the first question that I answered was the promotion of what you do and what your site is all about. The promotion to, you know, everybody else. You get a plaque, and that everybody, you can hang that, you know, wherever you want, where people can see it, and then they can recognize you as, you know, an environmental steward that they may not have seen. You know, they may not have seen you in that light. Your site, they may have thought differently of it. So it's just a good way to promote your facility as being conscious about water and all the things you do that are environmentally friendly.